I just seen Michael Myers riding down the street on a scooter singing Folded. Now that's the type of curry I like.
A phone call, a gunshot, a brother watching it all unfold on FaceTime, powerless, hundreds of miles away. On a quiet February night in Cincinnati's Walnut Hills, 33-year-old Diamond Rice, a woman who had spent her career pulling young people back from the edge of violence, became a victim of it herself. Police arrived to find her dying inside the apartment she shared with her girlfriend. Within hours, that girlfriend, a nurse training to become an anesthetist, was behind bars, charged with murder. She says it was self-defense. Prosecutors say the evidence tells a different story. And somewhere in the middle sits a FaceTime call, a live witness to the final moments of an argument that ended in death. One woman built a career saving lives. The other is fighting to save her own freedom. This is the Diamond Rice case.
Police say 31-year-old Jasmine Blake shot and killed 33-year-old Diamond Rice. Now, court records show the shooting allegedly happened during an argument on May Street at around 10 last night. Blake is charged with murder. She'll be arraigned on that charge at 9 o'clock this morning and will be in court to let you know what happens.
Diamond Rice grew up in Baltimore, Maryland, where she was herself once a participant in Youth Advocate Programs, Inc., YAP, a national non-profit that provides community-based alternatives to youth incarceration. She later turned that experience into a career, moving to Cincinnati roughly a year before her death to take on a leadership role with YAP's Hamilton County chapter, eventually becoming assistant director. In November 2024, she represented the organization at the Federal Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, and in November 2025, she appeared as a panelist at YAP's 50th anniversary celebration. At the time of her death, she was also enrolled as a Bachelor of Science student at Northern Kentucky University. Just before 10:15 p.m. on Sunday, February 1st, Cincinnati police were called to the 2300 block of May Street in the Walnut Hills neighborhood after reports of a shooting. Officers arrived to find Rice suffering from a gunshot wound inside the residence. Emergency crews attempted life-saving measures at the scene, but Rice was pronounced dead before she could be transported to a hospital. The apartment where the shooting occurred was shared by Rice and her girlfriend, 31-year-old Jasmine Blake. According to prosecutors, the two were involved in a romantic relationship and lived together at the address.
Am I driving studying days? I'm just sick of looking at this. I'm sick of doing this. I am study fatigued. Oh, like... And I need to get back in. I need to get back in. And it's so hard. I need the semester to end. I need this to end. Oh my God. I need this to end. I need the semester to be over. Like, I have an exam on Monday. I'm so sick of taking exams. I'm so sick of preparing for exams. Like,
Blake called 911 after the shooting. First responders who arrived were unable to revive Rice. Investigators moved quickly. Early on the morning of Monday, February 2nd, Cincinnati police arrested Blake and booked her into the Hamilton County Justice Center on a single count of murder. A homicide investigator's criminal complaint stated that the charge was based on evidence collected at the scene, statements Blake made during her 911 call, and accounts from witnesses. According to that complaint, Blake used a handgun to shoot Rice during an argument, resulting in her death. Blake was initially held without bond following her arrest. If you watch up to this moment, Please subscribe and turn on notifications to stay informed on the latest cases and investigations.
A woman is dead and another woman is behind bars charged with her murder.
Police say when they arrived last Sunday night at May Street near Burbank and Walnut Hills, they found 33-year-old Diamond Rice suffering from a gunshot wound. She died at the scene. Court records state the shooting happened after an argument.
Local 12's Chris Arnold spoke with Diamond Rice's dad, who talked about his daughter's legacy. Chris.
Well, yeah, Dwayne, Diamond Rice is originally from Baltimore, and her dad, Scott, says she moved here about a year ago with her girlfriend, Jasmine Blake. Now, Blake made her first court appearance on Tuesday after she was arrested and charged with murder in Rice's death.
She's very kind. She's always, trying to do for other people before herself. She was real intelligent.
This is how Scott Rice is remembering his daughter, Diamond. He says she had been on the wrong side of the law at one point, but changed her life around. And one way was by getting involved with youth advocate programs in Baltimore.
And so she started working part-time for YAP in Baltimore. And then it became full-time.
Scott says she later transferred to the location in Hamilton County and worked her way into the role of assistant director.
A lot of the kids they can't get to, she can. So she was good. She was good for that. She wasn't too old.
He says he spoke with his daughter around 8:30 last Sunday night. They had talked about a disagreement she had with the woman she was dating, Blake. At 2:30 the next morning, he got a knock on the door from police.
He started being a little nervous, right? I said, is it something bad? He said, yeah. He said Diamond was killed last night. He said, it was domestic. I said, Jasmine Blake? He said, yeah.
Honestly, I tried to reach out to Jasmine's mother because I know them. And I didn't get a response, but I just want answers.
The Rice family has received plenty of support in the days that followed. Scott says about 100 people braved the cold Saturday night to pay their respects and honor Diamond's life at a vigil held in Baltimore. Through the support comes a void left in Scott's heart.
It's going to start to really, really sink in that I ain't never going to talk to her no more. That I won't be able to tell her how proud I am of her.
Well, YAP Hamilton County Director Nate Letts said in a statement in part that Diamond was a powerful force at YAP and will be sorely missed here and across the country. He says she was passionate about her work as assistant director and her optimism was her superpower. Dwayne?
All right, Chris, thank you. By the way, Jasmine Blake remains in custody at the Hamilton County Justice Center on a $750,000 bond.
Blake appeared for arraignment in Hamilton County Municipal Court before Judge Janiyah Trotter Bratton. At that hearing, the judge set bond at $750,000. Blake's defense attorney, Connor Riley, told the court that his client had visible injuries to her face consistent with having been attacked, and argued that the shooting was an act of self-defense. A key piece of the defense's early argument involves a phone call. Riley stated that Blake's brother was connected to her via FaceTime during part of the incident and may have witnessed portions of what took place. This detail has become one of the more closely watched elements of the case, since it introduces the possibility of a remote witness to the altercation, separate from physical or forensic evidence collected at the apartment. Prosecutors pushed back on the self-defense claim in court. They noted that during her 911 call, Blake told dispatchers she believed Rice was going to kill her, but pointed out that there was no mention of Rice having a weapon and no injuries to Blake that prosecutors considered severe enough to justify the use of lethal force in response. According to her attorney, Jasmine Blake works as a nurse and was, at the time of the shooting, a student at the University of Cincinnati studying to become a nurse anesthetist. This detail has featured prominently in later coverage of the case, as commentators have noted the contrast between her professional trajectory and the murder charge she now faces. Following her arraignment and initial $750,000 bond, later reporting indicates Blake was subsequently granted bond, with her legal team continuing to point to the FaceTime witness account as support for the self-defense argument. As of the most recent available reporting, the criminal case against her remains active, and the investigation by the Cincinnati Police Department's Criminal Investigations Section Homicide Unit is ongoing. Rice's family in Baltimore learned of her death in the early morning hours after the shooting, when relatives received the news by phone. Her mother, Wanda Summons, has said she does not understand how an argument escalated into her daughter's death, and has publicly stated that she reached out to Blake's mother for answers but did not receive a response. Rice's father, identified in reports as Scott Rice, said he had spoken with his daughter by phone the evening of the shooting and discussed a disagreement she was having with Blake, telling her to resolve it because tomorrow was never guaranteed. He was later notified by police that she had been killed. About 100 people attended a vigil held in Rice's honor at New Shiloh Apostolic Temple in Baltimore, where family and community members gathered despite cold weather to remember her. Beyond her family, Rice's colleagues in the youth advocacy field publicly mourned her death. Nate Lett, director of YAP's Hamilton County chapter, described Rice as a powerful force within the organization who would be sorely missed both locally and nationally, noting that she often shared her personal story at public events to raise awareness and support for the nonprofit's mission. Northern Kentucky University's student and campus community also acknowledged her death, recognizing her as an advocate for social justice both on campus and in the wider Cincinnati area. As of the most recent reporting, Jasmine Blake remains charged with murder in connection with Diamond Rice's death. Her defense continues to build around a claim of self-defense, anchored by the alleged FaceTime witness and claims of facial injuries sustained during the altercation. Prosecutors continue to treat the case as a homicide, disputing the self-defense framing based on the absence of evidence that Rice was armed or posed a deadly threat. No trial date has been widely reported as of the latest coverage, and the investigation remains open. Anyone with additional information has been asked to contact the Cincinnati Police Homicide Unit directly. The case continues to draw attention for the combination of factors involved: a same-sex domestic relationship, a self-defense claim supported by a live video call, and the public profile of both women involved, one as a recognized youth advocate and the other as a nursing professional pursuing an advanced medical career. Thanks for watching. Did you find this case informative? If you want more true crime stories, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications.